Recently, several U.S. states, including Florida and Texas, have introduced legislation that restricts property ownership for certain immigration groups, notably targeting Chinese citizens. The controversial Bill SB 264, introduced and signed by Governor Ron Desantis, labels the acquisition of restricted property by Chinese individuals or selling real estate to them as a felony, while buyers and sellers from other targeted nations face rather lenient penalties. According to Governor DeSantis, this bill was signed to combat corporate espionage and higher education subterfuge carried out by the CCP, which aimed to protect Florida's national security demand, blocking targeted countries to purchase restricted land.
They have had a concerted effort to acquire farmland throughout the United States. In fact, they were trying to acquire land in Florida in Levy County, and that ended up not working out, thankfully, because there was some opposition. But nevertheless, you see what they're doing. And I look at things like farmland. It's important for community, it's important for business and jobs and the economy, but our food security is also national security. And so we don't want the CCP in charge of any of the food production. So when you see that, when you see what they're doing in the Western Hemisphere to expand their influence, we really need to have a unified effort in this country to deter the CCP's ambitions and their influence.
The bill has stirred intense criticism. Advocates argue that such law not only hinders wealth accumulation, but also infringe upon fundamental economic and social rights for affected immigrant communities.
I don't think that's fair. That don't even make sense to me. How's that Chinese different with French, Spanish people that's non-US citizen buying properties here? I thought this is a free country. That's literally just target China. It's for political reasons.
Okay.
And that's not fair.
Civil liberty advocates and local real estate developers have rallied, filing lawsuits and gathering support to challenge the bill, protecting their civil rights and economic interest. The enactment of this law has effectively relegated Chinese individuals to second-class citizens in Florida, said a press release of the Chinese American Legal Defense Alliance, a lawyer organization that filed a collective lawsuit against the state of Florida soon after the law went into effect. Impacted communities and civil rights activists proclaim that such a law repeats a historical blunder, reminding the grim history of alien exclusion law back in the early days. The situation remains unclear as the federal government stepped in and raised the controversy to constitutional level. Mason Tan reporting from Florida.